Action words are such an essential part of conversation, and especially when your child is learning to talk. Learning those verbs, those doing words, those action words are a key kind of building block for them to move from using lots of single words to using longer phrases. And so often within speech and language therapy sessions, or the advice that I give early years practitioners, is around how we can help your child to learn more verbs and to improve their understanding of them and to use them themselves, because this is going to help them follow instructions and share more of their own ideas with the world and start using longer phrases. So in this video, I want to share with you a few practical ways to teach your child to understand and use more of those verbs within their language, and to make sure that the way that we do it is fun and not just flashcard based. Verbs are doing words, and so we want to think about how we can make it really active and doey for your child rather than putting a lot of kind of static 2D pictures in front of them. So let's get started. My first suggestion is to use real life. Many of the children that I meet love to play outdoors, and at the moment during lockdown, that bit of time outdoors is so precious and often a real kind of energizing, engaging time for you with your little one. That might not be the case. Maybe your child likes to snuggle up and sit down cozy and look at a book. Don't worry, we're going to get to books because they're also really useful. But if you are doing some active things with your child, then be really kind of conscious of naming those action words within it and not smuggling those action words into super long phrases like I'm doing right now, which is really hard to, decipher, but just naming the verb. So, hey, running! Susie's running! Jump! Catch! Now, you are going to naturally be using gestures whilst you do this, and I would suggest being even more aware of using gestures. If you start adding gestures to when you're naming those action words, then it really highlights that as a key word for your child and also gives them something much more kind of concrete and visual to look at as well. So you might be saying run or jump or eat or sleep. Once you get into the habit of using big gestures to model those verbs, then you've almost got yourself a natural little charades game. And this is one that I really enjoy playing with children, which is, I'm going to think of an action. Can you name it? So I might do this. I'll say running, or maybe putting on a hat, or brushing our teeth. Some children really benefit from this explicit practice in using gestures to back up their communication, and it helps them also pay more attention to the gestures that other people are making around them to support their overall comprehension and communication. So the whole kind of can you guess my action as a charades game is a really useful one. As always, teamwork is really valuable for this. So share with those other important people in your child's life, hey, we are focusing on these 5 action words, and maybe if you can also look out for opportunities to be doing those things, then to be doing those activities, but also to be naming them, then that can be really useful. We all benefit from a little bit of kind of focus, and this applies to how we help children as well. So if you're sharing with the preschool key person that tying shoes and brushing hair are some key verbs that you're modeling at home, then that's something that your key person will just be able to have at the front of their mind to be playing around with your child when they're in daycare. Picture books are, of course, a great way to be pointing out some of those verbs. And often when we look at pictures, we kind of model simple phrases and we might talk about what we can see. If you really want to think about focusing in on those verbs, then you might want to just name the verb. Waving, looking, driving, rather than putting those action words within simple phrases. Oh, like, oh, look how this little bear here is waving to mummy, and this mummy is looking at him. Oh, and look, oh, it looks like, was it a rhinoceros who's driving? So with that second example, you are making it harder for your child to hear those action words. And so by just naming them, that helps to really kind of highlight those as really important words. So it's less work for your child to do. Finally, I would suggest pulling out your child's small world toys or all of their soft toys and just pick like just a couple action words within that. Then you've got this excuse to practice subject-verb phrases. So if Teddy is eating and Dolly is eating and croc is eating and potato head is eating, then your child is starting to learn from your models about how we are naming all of my favourite toys and we're adding in this verb as well, so they can see how you use that new verb to kind of create those small phrases and simple sentences. So from there we can go full circle back around to my first point about just being outside is a great excuse to practice these verbs. And I made a video about how you can help your child think about those subject verb phrases whilst you're out and about. So I will link that in the comments below as well. So yeah, get outside with whatever little bit of time we are able to get outside now. I'm certainly appreciating the time when I can go out for my daily exercise whilst we're in lockdown. Whatever feels doable to you, you're doing great. Keep going. Every tiny step is a step in the right direction. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back here real soon.